Let's get into some fantasy. Starters and sitters, who do you sit this week?
Well, I would probably go with sitting. I would probably sit Ben Roethlisberger.
Sitting.
Just what I talked about, the fact that Roethlisberger has not had much success against the Buffalo Bills, 4 touchdown passes in 5 games, and I believe in 5 career matchups against the Bills, he's only scored 13.5 fantasy points in those games, so more than 13.5, I should say, in any of those games. So I'm not a big fan of Roethlisberger this week. And in terms of, starting, the guy that I'd like to start is Jalen Hurts. You're going up against the Falcons defense that has one of the biggest question marks when it comes to pass defense. Road quarterbacks last year averaged over 23 fantasy points per game against the Falcons. Plus, Atlanta allowed the 9th most rushing yards to opposing signal callers. That, for me, is a recipe for success for Jalen Hurts.
I'm going to go with my sit of the week is Josh Jacobs. They're taking on the Ravens. He's going to wind up having to split some time with Kenyon Drake in this game, who was brought in as a free agent. And, on top of that, you look at a Baltimore defense that gave up just 88.8 yards on the ground to running backs a year ago. That defense is very difficult to run against. And when you look at Jacobs, he doesn't do a lot out of the backfield. Now, as far as starters are concerned, here's one for you. Raheem Mostert, as they go against when they go against the Lions. Now, look, he's going to have to potentially share some time with Trey Sermon. But when you look at it right now, and what he does in terms of his fantasy points, I really like what he could potentially bring. And he had look for him to wind up with top 15 numbers right now, as I see it. And you play a Lions team that gives up a ton of fantasy points to running back. So for me, Raheem Mostert, start him this week for fantasy.